Hello everyone, and I'm Sophie, currently at Kechara Forest Retreat, Bentong, Malaysia. I will continue sharing from the book by my guru, His Eminence, the 25th Sam Toko Rinpoche. And this is the book that I'll be sharing from, The Living Buddha Within, Sam Rinpoche. And I'll continue from chapter 4 on karma, page 54. The differences between karma and merit. Before that, let me share with you a picture of a Buddha, two Buddhas. Peaceful demeanor, showing their enlightenment. Right, let's get back to the reading. There is a difference between good karma and merit. Merit is what propels you towards enlightenment. Good karma is what propels you to a good rebirth in the next life. Merit can equal both, but karma cannot equal both. Merit will give you a good life, a good situation, sustenance, friends, family, position, and power. And these accessories, if I may, will help you on your journey towards enlightenment. If a good motivation is held when we do any Dharma activity, then whatever energy that is accrued in time spent during the Dharma activity, even the energy of going to the Dharma activity in a car or walking, preparing yourself and getting ready for the activity, and even the trip back, all that energy can be dedicated towards becoming merits. The Dharma is not easy to get. It is rare, and there are only a few occasions when you come into contact with it. You can have dinner engagements, food, fun, and all of that anytime. Whenever you come across an opportunity to hear the Dharma or to do Dharma work, always seize that opportunity. Good karma that is collected on the basis of false motivation or wrong motivation will give you good wealth, happiness, life, family, status, and so forth, but will not propel you towards enlightenment. In fact, those conditions can bring you down in samsara because it is easy to get attached to these transient things, which you wrongly perceive as permanent. Do you see the difference between merit and good karma? There is a big difference, and it is important to be clear on your understanding of that difference. We should make a very good motivation before any Dharma talk, any Dharma action, any prostrations, meditation, practices, pilgrimages, or before meeting our Guru. In fact, before we do any charitable actions, we should develop an extremely good motivation. In this way, that action will result in the collection of merit, not just good karma. A result of good karma, for example, is someone who is very wealthy and just gives money away to show friends how wealthy they are and how high their position is. The act is good in itself, but the result will be a rebirth in the human realm with some sort of wealth, or as a god with some sort of wealth. However, that wealth will only pull them down. They can be reborn into a family that is very wealthy, but they experience beatings, sufferings, and abuse. They can also be reborn into a very wealthy family as a French poodle, getting wonderful food, getting wonderful baths, and their fur trimmed. You can be reborn into a wealthy family that does not take care of you. You can be born into a wealthy family and enjoy wealth for a few years only and then die. Or you can be born into a wealthy family where you are excluded from your inheritance. Charitable acts do not necessarily equal charitable results. Charitable acts with good motivations will lead towards the best of results, enlightenment, regardless of the actions. Take, for example, a mother scolding her child out of love, as opposed to me scolding my mom out of anger. Both are scolding, but the motivation is different. It is not the action. Therefore, the results will be completely different depending on the motivation. Therefore, One must apply the four opponent powers: remorse, the resolution not to do it again; antidote, any antidote applicable such as Rajasattvas; prostrations, mandalas, purification practices; and lastly, to do the opposite of what you have been doing, such as to do charity, to have compassion, to meditate, to study, and make an effort to substitute your negative activities within your time for positive activities. This is very basic and fundamental concept, and is one that runs through every religious faith. As I mentioned earlier, the teaching of every religious faith is fundamentally the same. Now the only thing left for us is to do it, to put it into practice. Today, all of you are of sound mind and health, and you can do it. You can absorb it, understand it, and do it. It is up to you to do and to apply it. Therefore, as Lord Buddha taught, salvation is in your own hands. Throwing karma and completing karma. There are two types of karma: throwing karma and completing karma. Good throwing karma leads to rebirth in one of the higher realms, and good completing karma to a happy situation within that realm. Good throwing karma leads to rebirth in one of those higher realms, human realms, demigods or gods, or if you want to use Sanskrit, Manusa, Ashura, and Deva. Asuras are demigods or half-state gods, beings that are between humans and gods. For example, the condition of a human who constantly suffers from illness is due to that person having good throwing karma and bad completing karma. His good throwing karma threw him into rebirth as a human, but yet, as a human, he cannot fulfill his full human potential due to his completing karma, which created him to be sick constantly. If bad throwing and completing karma are combined, it leads to rebirth in the hell regions. The situation of pet dog that is fed and treated well is the result of bad throwing karma but good completing karma. The situation of a human who is poverty-stricken is the result of good throwing karma and bad completing karma. A human who has his 5 senses intact, who is relatively well-fed, who has all the needs to sustain his life provided for and able to practice Dharma, is the result of good throwing karma and good completing karma. That is actually a very, very rare event. For example, without any pride and prejudice, how many people have attended a Dharma talk? The result of very good throwing karma is present, but the completing karma is not there. Why? It is because the Dharma actually teaches you the true methods that lead to the cessation of suffering. In order to hear it, you must have good throwing karma, good completing karma, and merits, especially merits. Therefore, restraining oneself from the 10 non-virtues is essential in developing skillful means and wisdom. If one is able to refrain from the 3 mental vices, or 3 negative mental states, those of the body and speech will be easily avoided and easily controlled. It is all down to the mind. If you can control your mental activity, it's good to live in a populated place, because you have the opportunity to practice love and compassion with people who are not loving and compassionate. This leads to developing love and compassion. Further, such an environment offers a situation where one's anger may be aroused, thus giving one the opportunity to apply the 4 opponent powers and to develop the virtue of patience. But without this mental control, it is better to live in seclusion. If one lives as a town dweller, it is good to check one's motivation before going out, and also to keep watch for the craving that arises as one walks through the town. The fruit of non-virtuous acts, in which there is intention and completion of the act, must be experienced unless the four opponent powers are applied. However, if there is an act without intention, the person need not experience the karmic fruits of the act. There are a further 3 types of karma. The first type of karma is that which is experienced in this life. The second is the karma that is to be experienced in the next life. And the third is the karma that is to be experienced over several lives still to come. In order to help others, it is very beneficial to develop the 8 qualities of attaining higher states of existence. And with that, I've ended my sharing on chapter 4, which is on karma, and I will start on chapter 5, avoiding the 10 virtuous acts in my next sharing session. Sorry, my hair's a bit messy. There's a fan blowing. So thank you for sharing your time with me, and I will end this session with the completion dedication in Tibetan. Jangjo Sencho Rinpoche, Make Panam Geishi, Ke Panam Pame Payang, Gone Godu Pewashu, Toni Tonga Rinpoche, Make Panam Geishi, Ke Panam Pame Payang, Gone Godu Pewashu. Daso jini sa pagiwadi, tantan truwa guna gampadang, jepa jeso losan rapai, tampingin pori dusa se sho, kewa kuntu yan dalam madan, drami chuki palalong joji, sadon nangi yote razon, doje changi ngopanga tuso, gewa di yududa, lama sang yudriyone, jowa chika malupa, de isa lago pashu, joki gapu sungkapa, choso nampa pewala, geki sama si wadang, jungki malu sawasho. Dadang songi dusundan, trewa songi latene, gewa losan trapai, tampayo reva, gyushi, ni modele sendele, ni migunyan dele shi, ni sentatu dele pel, kunchu songi jingilo, kunchu songi ngodruso, kunchu songi trasi, yeso lama kusen lapting ching, nampa trini choju ke pada, losam tempe drome sab songi, droe musa tatoni, gyushi. Gangwe rawe kowe shinkam den bendan dewa malu gyo ne cheren sit wan ten sing get soy shape shi de paru de yu shik home tompe ngodro malu pa den de dala sal du so kodan den palong chot nam ke pa so shik shuk ten sel. Thank you again. Hope that you'll share my session later on. Thank you.